All right, well guys, it is the last day of March. It is 9:15. I just turned in my last ghostwriting project. I proofread it this morning. I've got it sent off to that client. That would be my 4th ghostwriting novel that I have written since January, since the beginning of January. It was a full 3 months, let's just put it that way. And I have stuck to my intention of keeping April light on my ghostwriting work so that I could focus on Dragon Balloon. I really want to get a draft of this book, as I know you guys know because I talk about it every vlog. And tomorrow is April 1st, and that means it's the start of Camp Nano, and I am gonna write this book this month, and I am so excited to finally have the time to start working on it. So I've got about 45 minutes before Lisa's live stream starts. I keep mentioning this in my vlogs and I keep failing to actually link that. So if you want to join us ever, I'm going to link Lisa's channel up here and also down below. We just do live writing sprints and chat about writing stuff every Wednesday from 11 a.m. EST to 1 p.m. So feel free to come join us. Before I do that, so Rosa won't get too antsy while I'm on the live stream, I'm gonna go ahead and run her out for a walk, and then I have nothing to do all day but plan for Dragon Balloon, and I will explain exactly how I'm going to do that when I get back from this walk. All right, let's do this.
We're super glad to see you today on the Daily.
Okay, we are on our first sprint, which is just a 5-minute warm-up sprint, and I'm trying to wrap my head around what I need to get done today. So very quickly, my 2 goals for today are: 1, I do need to spend some time in my planner and figure out what my new schedule is going to be for April. What I want to do, and what I've been doing the last couple months, is I spend 5 days a week working on drafts or just working on books. In this case, it'll be 5 days working on Dragon Balloon a week, and the other 2 days working on YouTube stuff. But I'm not sure which days of the week I want to do which, and I'm also kind of rethinking how I do my YouTube videos. The short version being, I was trying to do all of the scripting for both videos that I have go up on Mondays and Wednesdays all on one day, and also film and then spend a full day editing and uploading. But that hasn't been working for me, and I kind of figured out why. It's because I like working on one thing a day, like one book a day, not multiple books a day. And I thought that scripting all day and editing all day would work for me with YouTube, but it doesn't. What I actually learned this yesterday, is I like focusing on one video all day. So yesterday, which was Tuesday, I spent 5 hours scripting, filming, editing, and uploading my video that's actually going up today, which is about dialogue tags. And that was much more enjoyable to me because it gets me into that deep work mode, because I'm just focused on this one topic. Anyway, and then my second goal is to open this Save the Cat software and really start inputting, I want to take advantage of all of the features of this software, or at least a lot of the features, the characters and their descriptions. I will show you guys a little bit more about this later as I start working, but it's pretty powerful software, and I have a big cast of characters, and I like that when I'm working in a scene, it allows me to check off of a list of which characters are in that scene so that I can access their profiles really quickly. And I don't know, there's just a lot of features that I kind of want to use, and I want to get all my thoughts organized and in the software so that I'm ready to start actually drafting tomorrow. All right, there's 1 minute left on this, so that's my goal for today. I'm gonna open the software and let's see what happens. Okay, I just want to be completely honest about this right now. As excited as I am opening this software and just looking at the beat sheet and looking at this story that I have not worked on in over a week, just completely overwhelmed me. Even though I have so many pieces in there already. I mean, I have a 0 draft-ish / summary, whatever, and I've done a lot of work on the characters and the world building, but like, it's funny how when you step away, even for just a week, it can be overwhelming to jump back in. Like right now, my biggest thought is I don't even know where to start. And yeah, that's just how it is. I think what I'm gonna do is first read through the character sheets. The characters are the most important part of this that I want to get right in the first draft. So I'm gonna go through the little character sort of summaries. I mentioned this a few vlogs ago, but I don't really have character sheets. I don't like character sheets. I like to start with like a little seed of an idea about who they are and what motivates them, like what's pushing them through this story, what's driving them, what secrets do they have. Secrets are great. And then as other more, I don't want to say superficial, but other details like what they look like and little quirks or habits that they might have come to me, I'll add those to their I don't know what to call it if it's not a character sheet. I guess it is kind of a character sheet. And I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to go through, and there's a feature here I will try to show you on the Save the Cat software. I'm going to open the first scene. Okay, and it opens actually in this other screen. So here's the first scene, and here's the 0 draft. And you can see over here on the side all of these features. So the only 2 characters in this scene are Logan and Haley. Haley actually is not present. Haley is Logan's deceased older sister, but her presence, not her ghost, but just the idea of her, is crucial to this scene. Honestly, her presence is going to be in most scenes in this book, I think. So that's what I mean. When I open this scene up, I can see which characters are in this scene. I can also, if there are objects, key relationships, which I haven't played with this feature much, but I should. Setups and payoffs, again, something else I might play with later. Oh, and you can add things like conflicts, emotional change, important details, shot list? I don't know what that is. If you know what a shot list is, let me know. Anyway, so many features on this. Just like Scrivener, it can be overwhelming if you try to use them all. I really like having this list of characters here every time I open a new scene. And I really like this feature. If you click next to the character here, you can take notes about this character specific to this scene. And I think that's really helpful as well. So this is the kind of stuff that I kind of want to take advantage of and start working through. Also, the more I think about this, the more I think I really am gonna focus on Act 1 today. Getting this done for Act 1, not for the whole book. Because first of all, that really is overwhelming. That would take me too much time. But maybe more importantly, one of the reasons I'm excited about using this software is that it's going to help me when I'm in the middle of a draft. Like, let's say a week or 2 from now, I'm in the middle of Act 2. I'm in the middle of Fun and Games. And I know things are going to be a little bit tougher for me to draft there because they always are. And when I need to, I can pull myself out of the draft, turn back to this beat sheet and to these features and get more of a bird's eye view of my story and shuffle things around and add details as they come to me. Things that I might want to do a few scenes from now, or things that I need to go back and add to previous scenes without just like scrolling way up and down a Word document and taking notes in a separate document. I like that it's going to be all in one place here. And I really like this bird's eye view thing. So yeah, I think that is going to be my newly adjusted goal for today. For the most part, I want to get Act 1 really ready and set up with a list of characters that are in each scene, flesh out those character sheets because a lot of things have changed in my head, especially about the side characters, as I finished my zero draft a few weeks ago. And then, as I think I mentioned this last week, I do have a lot of MacGuffins in this book. It's a fantasy book. There are fantasy objects that are important to the plot, and I want to give them careful consideration and make sure that there's a meaning and a purpose to them being in the story other than to make things happen, because my characters need to be making things happen. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Anyway, okay, so already I feel less overwhelmed. Act 1, that's what I'm focusing on. I probably only have like 10 minutes left on this sprint, but hey, that's fine. Let's get to work. Something else I really like is that when you do open up a character profile, here you can have a description, but then I haven't filled this out yet for Noah, that's Logan's brother, but you can write his wants, his needs, and 6 things that need fixing, which is really cool. And then over here on the side, I mean, there's so many different sections that you could play with. I probably will not do much with any of these. Personality type sounds kind of fun though. Past experiences, that's a good one too. But wants and needs, you guys know I'm big on that whole core motivation. I mean, this is what drives the plot. So yeah, adding wants and needs for all of my side characters, that's going to be a big part of today's work too. Someone's getting antsy. So the water is off in my building once again because they are doing scheduled repairs. The pipes are still damaged from that ice storm last month. I did prepare this time with a giant bucket of water next to the sink, but I seriously do not want to do dishes, and I don't want them piling up like last time, because last time the water was off for 48 hours when it was supposed to be off for like 8. And so Starbucks lunch it is, and after that we will get back to work. I keep taking breaks to try and schedule getting a vaccine, and like, y'all, just, can you see that? Fetching appointments, because I picked one that was actually available and time is running out. And it's just, why? Why is it like this? It worked! I'm getting the vaccine tomorrow. Holy crap. Okay, so I am finished with adding all of my characters to every scene of the first act. So that means all of these scenes here that you can see in Act 1 through the Break Into 2 scene, which is open fully here on this screen. I've got the little short summary of what happens. There's the zero draft that I wrote a couple weeks ago. And then over here is a list of all the characters in that scene. One other feature I really like that I'm going to use is here, for every scene you can write the emotional change of the main character in the scene. I have talked about this a lot before. That is how you know it's a scene, is if the main character goes through an emotional shift of some sort. And you can also keep track of what the conflict is to keep you focused on the scene. Write the conflict here. I might use this as well. You can kind of keep track of your timeline. That's really cool. Not sure I'm going to worry about that so much in the first draft. I probably should. It would make revising easier, but whatever. Mostly the emotional change. But I'm actually not going to do that in advance because I know myself. I've written enough books by now, and I know that even though I've done so much preparing, outlining-ish, beat sheets, zero drafting, whatever you want to call it, for this, even with all that preparation, I know the first draft is going to go in a different way than I expected. It always does. And that's part of the fun. And that means that, I mean, if I spend my time right now going through every single scene and trying to identify what the emotional change that Logan is going to go through in each scene is going to be and what the specific conflict of each scene is going to be, it's going to be a waste of time, because that's going to change, especially as I progress through the book. It just is. And I want it to. I still want this story to feel spontaneous I want it to be spontaneous as I'm writing it. I still want to allow myself to discover things. And yeah, so I know what the emotional change is going to be for the first scene that I'm going to start drafting tomorrow, and that's enough for now. All of these other features in this software, like keeping track of the objects and where they are if they're in each scene, and relationships and things like that, I might start using those features as I draft to try to keep track of things. I think that that's actually going to come in handy most for me when I have a first draft, it's done, and then I have to go back and revise, because then I'm going to be able to easily search, oh, when did I mention this bracelet? That's so important. Which scenes is that in? Because there's this thing I need to change about it, and then I can track it easily within the software. I think that's where that stuff's gonna come in handy, more so for revisions than for actually planning. Also, guys, I have a vaccine appointment tomorrow. I am so happy. So, you know what? It's 2:48, and I'm gonna call it quits on working for today. I am going to take Rosa on a really long walk because it is gorgeous outside, and I'm going to close all of this down, and I'm going to read a book and just try to relax. And then tomorrow morning, it's gonna be April 1st. No fooling. We are going to start writing this book. I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning! Why yes, this is a Nanowrimo shirt. I am all in. Happy April 1st, everybody. I'm super excited. It's a beautiful day. I've had a great morning. It's about 9:30. I got nothing to do all day but write the first chapter of Dragon Balloon, and this afternoon I'm going to get my first vaccine. I did definitely have a dream that I showed up to get that shot and the pharmacist at Kroger was like, April Fools, but I'm sure that won't happen. So I did spend some time in my planner yesterday. I forgot to vlog any of that. And I think instead of planning out like the whole month, because I'm just not sure, I want to kind of find a rhythm with this draft and see what's going on. I decided that instead of making today a word count goal day, I'm just going to make it a write the first chapter day. Because I think I've talked about this in previous videos, but the first chapter is the only time that I'm okay with letting myself kind of pick over my word choice and not try to just write it quickly and worry about revising later, because I really need to find the voice. I have some idea of what I'm going for from my zero draft, but to be honest, I have a better idea of the voice for the little side otherworld story and a whole lot less of a grasp on Logan and her narrative voice. So that's what today's gonna be about. I wanna write that first scene, like first draft it. I have a thorough, very long zero draft version of that scene already, so I know exactly point for point what happens. It's just finding the voice, and however many words that ends up being, that's what it is. And that's what I'm gonna do. Let's get started. Okay, so I am at 1,500 words and it's 2:15. I did obviously take a break, go on a walk, have some lunch and all that. It did take some time. I started by actually writing, I realized, or I remembered, that I wanted to start with a very, very brief, like, I'm talking, what is this, 150 word kind of prologue from the fantasy story, from the side story. And I wrote that first, and I really love it. And then I switched to Logan's point of view, and it did take a little while. I let myself go really slow. I've had this scene in my head since, I mean, honestly, I think since I got the idea for this book. So I knew what happened, and like I said, I had a good zero draft of it already. But I took my time to find the voice, and I am so pleased with what I've got. It has kind of laid to rest any lingering concerns I had over deciding that this book was not middle grade but young adult. There was part of me that was still wondering, what if I start writing it and it's like a middle grade voice? It's not. In fact, I don't know if you guys remember, but back during Nanowrimo, when I said I was going to work on rewriting The Thing from Coney Island, which is a book that I've rewritten like too many times over the last 5 years. The most recent version of that book, which is also a YA fantasy, I think that I finished in 2017. This is not the voice, because Logan is a very different protagonist than the main character Ruth from that book, but stylistically there's a lot of similarities here, and that makes me really happy, because even though The Thing from Coney Island, or what it was before, is not published, I still feel like it's some of the best writing, like some of the best prose I have ever written. Its flaws lie with its plot, but prose-wise, I still love it, and that's kind of starting to come out here, which tells me I'm on the right track, because this is a YA fantasy too. Anyway, I have to change my shirt, put on some short sleeves, and go get my vaccination, and I am pretty sure where I am in this scene and looking at the zero draft, I'll easily be able to finish this chapter before dinner. So yeah, but 1,500 words, I'm pleased with that. Let's go get vaccinated. Hooray! That's upside down. Hooray! That was quite painless, and we're all done. So now I'm seeing that I very badly need to fill up this car with gas, and we're gonna go home, and I am gonna try to finish that chapter, but I would be lying if I didn't say I need to edit this vlog, because I think I took a lot of footage over the last couple days, and that's probably gonna take a minute. So that's what we're gonna do. I put a poll out a couple of hours ago asking you guys if you, when you're drafting, if you look for books to read while you're drafting that are in your genre that you're writing, or if you try to stay away from it, or what you do. And I'm really curious to see those results. I kind of tended to, in the past, avoid whatever genre I was writing in. But for some reason, I'm in the mood, I have been in the mood to read like a good contemporary fantasy. Not young adult, I actually found an adult contemporary fantasy recommended on Jess Owens' channel. I will link to her channel up here. She is a great booktuber. I love her videos, and I feel like our tastes are aligned in a lot of areas, and so I trusted her here, and I got The House in the Cerulean Sea, which was, I think, a pretty big book last year that I missed out on. So we're giving the audiobook a shot. And yeah, that's it for this vlog. Happy April 1st. No fooling. It was a great day. I hope this month has started off great for you guys as well, and I will see you next week with more videos. Bye.
Nobody wanted that. Those whom Miss Jenkins and Gunther passed by kept their heads down, pretending to work. But once